Mutual respect. The societal structure of the Victorian era was rigid, a heavily segregated and male-dominated society, particularly in Britain. Women were, in that period, restricted to their homes' four walls, tasked with solving domestic problems and tending to the wants and needs of their husbands and children. They mostly weren't allowed to have aspirations beyond motherhood and marriage. Their roles were spelled out clearly, and any deviation was seen as defiance. Then along came John Stuart Mill, a Victorian-era British philosopher who looked at the structure of society and asked the daring question, "Isn't this unfair?" Mill envisaged a world where differences were embraced, but without engaging in power plays and the subjugation of one to another. In the mind of Mill, men and women were perfect complements to each other and should have equal opportunities to exploit their potentials. He argued that the subjugation of women is a relic of historical societal constructs that have no basis in natural differences in ability between the sexes. He challenged the assumption that women's roles are predestined to be domestic and subordinate to men. Such roles, Mill argued, are merely socially constructed and enforced through education and societal norms, rather than through biological determinism. Mill emphasized the principle of individual liberty, a cornerstone of his philosophical beliefs, arguing that women should have the same moral and legal rights as men to choose their paths in life. This includes making decisions about marriage, family, and career, which were largely restricted for women in the 19th century. He believed that the freedom for women to make these choices was essential, not only for their personal fulfillment, but also for the advancement of society as a whole. Furthermore, Mill was ahead of his time in suggesting that the personal and economic independence of women would benefit marital relationships, leading to partnerships based on mutual respect and affection rather than economic dependence and traditional roles. He envisioned a society where men and women could equally participate in all aspects of public and private life, contributing to a more just and intellectually vibrant community. The Subjection of Women is also notable for its empirical approach. Mill argued that assumptions about women's inferiority are untested, and that society should experiment with equality to truly understand the capabilities and contributions of women. He advocated for legal and social reforms as necessary steps towards achieving this equality, making his work a seminal contribution to feminist philosophy and a call to action for social change.